What is going on, everybody? Welcome to a Publicly Buzzed live stream on a random Monday afternoon. Just got off work. Going to pop on here and go over a few things. Let me just post this link real quick in the shit. Wrong one. That was stupid. Delete that. Post this link in the old Discord there. Real quick. Hope everybody's having a good beginning of the week, a good Monday. I'm going to be going over a little bit more of this ID information. Jennifer Coffindaffer was on News Nation again. The first person I've seen that actually brought this to everyone's attention. And I'm going to see what she's saying. I like Jennifer Coffindaffer. I know she gets a lot of heat from people, a lot of hate from people. But I usually actually enjoy her takes on stuff. Oh, there it is. See what's going on here in chat. Build the fuck up. Hell yeah. What's going on, everybody? Mimi720, Mama Stormy, Spider Baby, 12, Leah Story, The Wandering Orphan, Gordon Shumway. What's going on? Hell yeah. Welcome. Not a name I see too often. Glad you could make it to a live. Percy. What is a smoking ID? Well, Jennifer Coffindaffer actually is the one that's coined this term so far. Not the smoking gun aspect, but she called it on another News Nation segment. This could be the smoking ID, as if, the smoking gun aspect. This could be what does Kohberger in, potentially or possibly, if this is somebody from that house, right? See everybody in here getting down. That's what I like to see as well. Strict9, 12, Shelton Wins. Thank you, everybody. Seriously. Pookie, everybody. I'm going to watch this. First of all, I've got a couple of things I'm going to do here. This isn't going to be a super long, just going to be going over a couple of things. I'm going to watch this video from News Nation this is the newest one yet, where they're interviewing Jennifer Coffindaffer about the ID situation. Then I'm actually going to go over here to Twitter, and I wanted to get Carrie Rawson, the BTK killer's daughter's take on this as well. It's a little bit interesting. That's kind of the road I wanted to go down. And then, of course, a news site like the dailymail.com, which is usually full of a bunch of bullshit, we're going to go over that as well. So, first of all, let me make sure this is correct, my friends. It looks like it is.
On suspected Idaho killer Bryan Kohberger, accused of murdering Xana Kernodle, Ethan Chapin, Madison Mogen, and Kaylee Gonsalves in November. Now, sources now telling News Nation an ID belonging to one of those victims was found in Kohberger's car. And meanwhile, authorities in Pennsylvania are looking into Kohberger's possible involvement in other killings. Joining us now to discuss the latest in this case, Jennifer Coffindaffer, former FBI special agent and News Nation law and justice contributor. Jennifer, thanks for joining us again.
Thank you for having me, Natasha.
Everybody.
If Kohberger was as well trained...
I'm going to give everybody a second to get in here and chill out. There's a lot of people rolling in here. Socrates, Jamie, hell yeah. Heather. Craziness. You guys make this worth it every time. I'll send this out in the chat real quick while we wait for everybody to gather. Boom. You guys already know. But yeah, I hope everyone is having a good Monday, though, ultimately. Yeah, we got a few folks in here. If you are hanging out right before we start this video, please hit like. Helps us out. Helps us grow in the algorithm here on the old evil YouTube, the one we all have to use to kind of break free from. But yeah, please hit the like. If you're not subbed up as we go through this video and you pop in and you dig what you're seeing, please hit subscribe. Hit the 3 little dots on the side and make sure all is clicked, folks. Not personalized, all. That will get you pretty much all my content, anything I'm posting in the community, any of the lives that when I go live randomly like this, which is happening all the fucking time now. And then any videos that I post as well. So yeah, thank you all so much for being here. We're going to jump into this bad boy.
Trained in this area as he apparently was. Why would he take one of the IDs and keep it?
Well, if in fact he did take the ID, and remember, we don't know particularly what ID was taking. Supposedly, it was one of the IDs from someone inside that house at 1122 King Road. We're not even sure whether it's a victim, but likely he would have taken it as a trophy if indeed he did commit these murders. In this way, he could look at it, he could relive that moment, and it's very usual for people who kill people in this manner to take trophies or souvenirs.
How would his defense defend him having a victim's ID in his possession? What would the explanation possibly be?
Well, we know the ID was supposedly found in a box in the house inside a glove at his parents' home, which is very interesting because it would seem as if he was secreting it or hiding the IDs that were listed. There is no explanation, honestly. There is nothing to explain how or why he would have this ID with him unless he was involved and murdered those students.
I mean, tell me about these details, the box and the glove that the ID was supposedly found inside. As an investigator, where is your mind immediately? Because is that the best way to hide a piece of evidence? Is there some sort of preservation trying to take place there? What was he doing?
Well, the first thing when we found this information and it was revealed to us from the source, the first
so
question
saying
is
a source right now. So yeah, the first person I heard it from was from Jennifer Coffindaffer. And now, yeah, she's saying it's coming from an outside source. So this is ultimately going to be, I guess what they would be saying is coming from a leak. If this is not complete, just made up information, I would hope that it's not, right? But a lot of people have been saying, like, where is the information coming from? But again, an outside source is all they're actually willing to say. And I guess the gag order's in place, folks. But, you know, if they have, you know, if we come into the trial and we start actually seeing some of this stuff, you'd be like, holy shit, there was some actual real leaks going on. But as of right now, we don't have any real way of knowing that, right? So yeah, like, and so everyone's real suspicious. Everyone is real suspect of, like, is this real or not? Is what, you know, and again, I do like her. I like the angle she kind of throws on Twitter. She gets a lot of hate because she will go down a conspiracy laced, whatever you want to say, rabbit hole. But I like to go down that with my train of thought as well. I usually come back on the out on the other side with more of a logical ending. I like to dance around in that area, but you know, she does too, as I would think, honestly. She's a former FBI agent, retired FBI agent. But yeah, at the same time, if misinformation is being put out there by someone like her, by an ex-FBI agent, that's fucked up. So, I mean, that would need to be called out as well. Right now, we just have, it's coming from an outside source. Who knows who that could possibly be? It would have to be someone close to this or inside the police department. And if it is somebody within, if this is real, let's just say that for a minute, and it is somebody within the Idaho 4 or some, you know, one of the 4 victims, from someone from that house, that would be crazy. And then the question she just asked her, how would they argue that in court, right?
Is there an inventory of it on the search warrant return? And if you go to the search warrant return, sure enough, there are these IDs that were concealed in a glove in a box. Now, this is just unusual. Most people don't keep IDs hidden in this fashion. So to me, it was something that certainly corroborated the source information and seemed suspect from the beginning.
You know, and this is being called the smoking ID. How strong of a piece of evidence do you think this is?
If indeed he had that ID in that glove, this is smoking. There is no reason to.
She likes to say that now. This would be a smoking ID. So, I mean, you got Chris Cuomo. I'm sure he doesn't have that much charisma or energy to go after it. But if we have a smoking ID, folks, this could mean anything. So, News Nation is one of the only. Does Fox News still run as much as they used to? I don't think they do. I don't see as many clips as some folks like News Nation. Also, that's why I pulled up to go with this. Also, the dailymail.com. Now, I see a lot of the YouTubers that, you know, cover true crime go with the Daily Mail stuff. And I'm sure there's lots of stuff in here that's true and probably facts that come, but it's riddled with tons of bullshit almost always. Lots of stuff from the Daily Mail. Let's just dive in here just for a second. The smoking license ID connected to Idaho murder victim found in Bryan Kohberger's car during search 6 weeks after the killings. An ID connected to the murdered University of Idaho students was uncovered in suspected killer Bryan Kohberger's car amid reports he may have been cyber stalking one of the victims. Kohberger, 28, is accused of slaying the Idaho 4 in their off-campus home back in November. His connection to the students has remained unclear, but an unsealed search warrant states of officers found ID cards in the car 6 weeks after the killings. And, you know, that's the back to Jennifer on Twitter. She's the first person I've seen say, you know, because people had said, what does it say? Does it say 10 curls, 10 cards? You know, I do think ID cards makes the most sense in the affidavit. I will admit that. Sources have told News Nation they belong to somebody who lived in the Moscow residence, but a gag order on the trial has stopped police from confirming any details about the cards. So again, that's exactly what we was just discussing here. If it is real, That's why we don't know, you know. I mean, sources and leaks do happen in these things. I mean, and if it's continuously happening, if we get to the trial and we start finding all these leaks, we're like, holy shit, somebody was the worst, right? Like the tight lips do not exist in this police department. It comes after experts revealed Kohberger's car is set to become a key piece of evidence and a rolling crime scene in the trial. That's interesting. I've heard that multiple times as well. Kohberger, who was linked to the grisly murders by DNA on the knife sheath found at the home and cell phone tower data, which also put him near the scene of the crime. Retired FBI agent Jennifer Coffindaffer said the discovery was a big deal. That is a smoking license, she said during an appearance on Cuomo on Thursday. Just like the sheath was a smoking sheath found next to Maddie with his DNA on that clasp. It's the same thing in this situation. Why would he have an ID related to one of those people from that house? If that is true, 100%, you know, and Mark Regos also said the evidence would be a hurdle to the defense if presented in court. He said right before that, if true. You know, we pointed that out, and I've seen many other YouTubers point that out as well. That's if true, folks. So yeah, I'm glad he at least pointed that out there. Meanwhile, DailyMail.com reporter Kathleen Becker said it appeared based on the search warrant the ideas had been hidden away in Kohberger's parents' home. In a TikTok video, she explained, when these warrants, were unsealed last month, I looked through them, saw the IDs, and these were taken, but without any other information, it didn't stand out to me. But now with a source saying one of these IDs belonged to somebody connected to the murders, I went back to look at the specifics of the search warrant, and what I found was kind of crazy. She went on to explain that the warrant states the cards were found inside of a box. It suggests Kohberger had deliberately hidden the IDs inside of a glove and then placed inside a box. She added, my other questions are, whose ID was it? When did it go missing? If it was before the murders, could this bolster the state's theory of stalking? And if it was after the murders, are we looking at a potential trophy? Kohberger was a doctoral student in criminal justice at WSU, 15 miles away from Moscow. Police found a trove of disturbing items, including a gun, several knives, and a black face mask at his home following the dramatic arrest. And I've saw multiple people say, you know, could the gun be the family gun, like a gun for the home, you know, maybe even just his father's gun that they took. Investigators have remained tight-lipped over the potential motive in the slayings, but revealed in an affidavit that he had visited the area of the home of Moscow several times. And last week, it was revealed police have submitted several search warrants to social media companies, including TikTok and Google, to see if there was any contact between Kohberger and his victims. That's where it's going to get really interesting once we really actually find out that stuff. Right now, we just know warrants are out there, right? We don't actually know what details are in that stuff. It's interesting, and I love to speculate as well. I think all of us do. It's interesting to speculate about that stuff, but at the same time, if that brings back actual communication before he moved there, and could imply why he maybe moved there. And again, going even back to the IDs, if there is anything actually substantial and real here, that would be fucking huge, though. In a February, it emerged he had multiple images of one of the girls on his phone when it was searched by cops. Sources told People at the time it was clear he was paying attention to her, though they would not reveal which of the girls it was. Kohberger is due in court on June 26th. He has yet to enter a plea to 4 counts of murder and 1 of felony burglary. It comes after reports stated authorities in at least 2 Pennsylvania counties where Kohberger attended college. Also, this is back to the cold case theory, and everyone was saying when they were talking about this week, it came out, a month, 2 months ago that the Pennsylvania was not looking at this. But your natural question to start wondering, is this guy wanted? Who asked Terrence Hook, who asked his staff to research whether Kohberger could have been ties to unsolved cases. And that's just an automatic for me. When people come in and say, they aren't looking at that because they said so. No, come on, they're 100% looking. They might not find anything, and they might not dig deep into something that doesn't have MOs, right? That would be close, 100% there, but they definitely looked. Is his name out there? Did he do anything here in my county? Authorities have said in the past that Kohberger has no prior criminal record. However, since Kohberger was a student in Northampton County Community College in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, authorities took a deeper look into records. He may have attended classes at a satellite campus in Monroe County using a crime information center. Authorities in Northampton County searched records of unsolved cases using Kohberger's height, weight, method of operation, and other characteristics that could have flagged him in an unsolved crime. Now we're going to go back and finish this video out, but I do want to go into this right here. I think I think that Carrie Rawson, the BTK killer's daughter, you know, is basically even sounding off a little bit, kind of what the chat here is saying and what I'm saying as well. Let me look back up here just for a second. And thanks everybody for being in here. Really appreciate it. Yeah. That just kind of what they're saying, that a source is saying that, right? Spider Baby, do we know for sure an ID was from the Idaho 4 or no? No. Go Light Cake, new name. Thank you for popping in here. Dropping the knowledge, nothing getting leaked is real. Hope you guys realize that. Well, I hope you've actually been paying attention to this episode and hearing the words that I've been speaking, and you'd probably realize that that's what a lot of the people actually said. In my comment section, there's always people that like to just jump in and give their opinion without actually looking at the content, and it cracks me up. Good evening, Angie. What's happening? Thank you for being in here. Appreciate it. T2014. I'm patiently waiting to see the results of the processing of the evidence. Sucks that it may be a while. Yeah, a Wandering Orphan said, I keep trying to give y'all number 34, not a leak, just evidence that's very damning. I've had a couple of emails from people giving me a couple of different things after this ID thing. Send me what you got on there. MK. Oh, okay, cool. Okay, AZ, if she knows that it was a victim's ID, then the fact that it was found in a hiding place wouldn't be strange. It would only be strange if it was his own ID. So which is it? Can't be both. I mean, what would be strange is if it's one of the victim's IDs inside of a glove inside of a box. Now, if that is what they're saying is happening here, which is the way I'm taking it, that would be fucking weird. But you're right. There's no clarification because it's just a source, you know, a gagged source that we can't find out any information about. I'm on your side. Yeah, wandering. I've seen that before, and I think I've even had that on a stream before. Someone's brought that to my attention. I've shown it. I'm gonna read that though. I haven't seen that second part. I'll check that out. I did. I'm looking at it. Mountain Mama, thank you for popping in here. Appreciate it. Here is does that pop over? Here's the first thing that Wandering Orphan sent me here. Number 34 on the warrant, a mama mind. What's on a man's mind? Sigmund Freud, man's mind, and then we got here. Do you think page 118 could be The Life After God by Douglas Copeland? I'm going to read that in a second, probably to myself, but yeah, I've seen this right here, the on a man's mind part, the number 34, mama mind, man's mind. That is interesting though. Ricky Cougarback popping in here. What is he saying? The fact that it was concealed in a glove and further concealed in a box is pretty interesting, though. Seems like something he didn't want anyone to find. That's true. And I've also heard, definitely makes sense to think that it was one of the victim's IDs, right? Now, that's what would be weird if it is, you know, if it, because somebody, the only thing that kind of makes sense on the other side, I've seen somebody once say, when they were moving, they were like, you know, something like an ID, you know, I didn't want to lose them. So, you know, we'd put them in a glove, right? You know, to that, I would say, you know, why wouldn't you have them in a wallet? But I did see somebody try to say that, but it's still weird though. Come on. Christian, what's going on? What time is it in Australia now? God, it's gotta be late now. Like a smoking gun, but this is a smoking ID. If Bryan Kohberger had one of the victims' IDs, if they could bring that in court, that would be huge. I'm going to finish out this video. Then we are going to go into the one I wanted to see here, or not a video, but the Twitter feed from BTK Killer's daughter. I wanted to go over that for just a second. And I think she's got a good point.
To explain it other than he was in that house and took that during the commission of that crime. It's super strong, Natasha, especially when you combine it with the sheath that was found next to Maddie Mogen with his DNA on the clasp.
And we know that Pennsylvania authorities are looking into Bryan Kohberger's possible connection in any other crimes. Is it possible that they found evidence that linked him with other crimes while investigating this one, or is this standard practice?
It's standard practice to look. And certainly from reports, so far they've been negative, but they said they were continuing to look. They have looked very narrowly, actually, at 2 counties have reported, and then there was another big computer look after the DNA was returned. But we don't really have all the results yet. So I'll be very interested to see what law enforcement ultimately says in terms of connection.
Yeah, I think all of us are. Jennifer Coffindaffer, always appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately she makes some good, I think everybody makes some good points. That's the bottom line for me. And that's actually why I like the lady, because I like speculation myself. And I know that some people don't, that's totally fine here. But, and then to that point, to everything we just read, the Daily Mail, long spiel here, that kind of basically went with the Coffindaffer, the angle here that they're saying a source, they can't really give anything, but they are, relying heavily on the information that they have. But right here, the BTK killer's daughter, Houston, we've got a problem. News Nation is continuing to push stories that are darn near impossible to fact check due to the gag in place. What came first, the release of the warrant or this anonymous source? If this source actually knew for a fact, should they be talking? And she posted the article here. Further saying, an ID linked to the Idaho college killings case was found during one of the certain, she's quoting here, Coffindaffer. An ID linked to the Idaho college killings case was found during one of the searches of Bryan Kohberger's home, News Nation has learned. Coffindaffer said it's not clear which ID was taken, and it's not certain it belonged to a victim. Nothing but what ifs, right? She continues on. Maybe we get to trial and we do not find out there's truth to this. But now we frankly don't know. Unfortunately, news that doesn't appear to be fully sitting in fact-based reality at night is becoming unsourced churn in the news cycle the next morning. I've lived under the microscope of misinformation out there on my family and myself for nearly 2 decades. Again, this is the BTK killer's daughter. She put herself back into the spotlight here recently during after the Kohberger arrest, when basically people were saying, could he be possibly a serial killer, when the connections came to the BTK killer, as in, he was taught at DeSales University by a lady that has worked with the BTK killer and even calls him a friend, and they wrote a book together. So the weirdness is there. But she brought herself into the spotlight here and has done interviews with News Nation in the past. I try hard to get things right and apologize when I don't. I've got a serious question on this story and others being put out there. I'm asking this growing, booming outlet to slow down. Hire some fact checkers, ask smart questions, triple check your sourcing before running breaking exclusive news, the kind that can alter the course of a trial, the very lives you're reporting on. And then she finishes, I chose to grant interviews to this outlet in the past. Maybe I'm part of the problem. We should all continue to strive to do better, definitely including myself here. Onward, forward, strive to rise above the common denominator we owe to the victims, the families, and to ourselves. So I think she does make some good points, but at the same time, if the information that is coming through right now with News Nation and other sites like Daily Mail, if that does become, and I do want to know about it. That's my argument there. I don't want to know about it if it's not coming. Basically, we need to know if News Nation, some of these other places, like I'm calling out Daily Mail, I know they're full of shit. I know a lot of People Magazine, that one, I don't know if it's People Magazine, but the People site people are using for sources. A bunch of those are fucking full of bullshit. Now, News Nation has been so close to this, and even to the families, you would hope that they aren't doing this. That's why I would like to give at least, the possibility of it being true. And even Jennifer Coffindaffer, former FBI agent, I would like to give her the credibility for running with the story too. Now, again, it is being said as a source, an outside source, and they can't name the name. And it makes sense why they can't name the name. I'm not saying that. But at the same time, she does make good points. And it does raise the questions, is this real? Now, it may take months before us to actually realize if it's real or not. That's what's unfortunate here, I think. See what some of the chat is saying here over on the side. There we go. Dober Dad coming through. Hey, guys, don't forget to hit the like button to help the algorithms. Appreciate that. The firing squad should start loading their clips of ammo. Anthony Vella, new name. Thank you for popping in here. Hope you're having a good Monday. Here, light cake. The sheath is extremely weak evidence. The person needs to stop. This person, Jennifer Coffindaffer. Christian, everyone remember to hit the thumb. Hell yeah, we all up in here. Y'all got my back. Love it. Love it, guys. Sammy, Coffindaffer changed her language in this segment as opposed to the other night. I've watched all of those, and these all seem pretty similar. Maybe she was changing it slightly because of the heat from the internet, right? But she pretty much kept the same tone. Because they can't say anything. There's nothing to really rely on except for an outside source. And I'm doing it right now. That's all we can really do. I wanted to bring an air to this story of a different side of it with Carrie Rawson's opinion here, honestly, because actually, I agree with both of these sides. That's why I'm so weird on here. And maybe I call me a flip flopper. I'm not married to any of these ideas, and at the same time, I don't want misinformation. I don't want that to be misconstrued. I don't want misinformation, which is what I was saying before. I want News Nation to be correct. I don't want them to be throwing out bullshit like some of these other places, like Daily Mail and others. That's why I want to believe that it's real, because again, they followed this thing since the beginning. Them and Fox News were the two, or CNN at first too, but they were the two that stuck through it for Steve Gonsalves, letting him come on there and keep this in the news in the spotlight. It kept this thing viral for honestly. And now News Nation is not as big of a network at all to Fox or Fox News, or even especially CNN. But, at the same time, they're like I think Coffindaffer, not Coffindaffer, Rawson here said, you're a growing news organization and you definitely want to make sure that your sources are right. You know what I'm saying? So even if it's an anonymous source, at the end of the day, should you report on that if you don't know it's 100% right? I guess that's a question, right? That would be an integrity question, ultimately, I feel like. Here we go. T 2014. I wonder if any victims had to replace an ID lately. If it was one of theirs, there could point to it being taken early or the night of the crime. Right, Kara Willis. Thank you for popping in. I think you're in from the UK, aren't you? Love it. A lot of UK folks pop through here. There we go, Sammy. News Nation, such a trouble child. And again, that's why I wanted to give the alternate opinion here. Kristen, thank you for popping in here. Appreciate it. Yeah, I thought I'd do just a random live here midday on a Monday. Really, because they're still running with this story, and because I saw this tweet from BTK Killer's daughter. Now, Mama, that's what I've heard. I think they're the leak, but then again, if they're not gagged, then it's not a leak, right? Yeah, if it is coming from another area. Using a victim's addiction ruled mother to get clicks is utterly shameful. And that's true. That's a damn good point there. I was pretty grossed out by the Banfield interview with Zaina's mom. I'll 100% back that with you, Kara. That was fucking gross. That was terrible. I didn't even watch that interview. Just seeing the pictures of it was like, what the fuck? I'm with you on that one. All right. The pursuit of justice needs to be greater than the pursuit of ratings. Sammy, that's a good quote. I like that. Dober Dad, being open to other opinions is a part of growth and being human. It's called having humility. It's a good one also. Publicly flip flopper. That's going to be a shirt. Publicly, I don't know what the fuck's going on, and none of y'all do either. Willow, it could not have been that dumb to keep the card. Now, see, that's the thing. If it's a trophy, right? Like, he's like, I don't want to lose this thing. Sylvia, thank you for popping in here. Appreciate it. Got some, the mixed as per usual crowd here on Publicly Buzzed, which is what I like to see, honestly. I want to see all them opinions popping through here. Coffindaffer and News Nation mixing it up. Great chat as always. Yeah, UK. That's what I like to hear. Awesome. $2 super sticker from Willow. Thank you for that, Willow. $2.99. Appreciate that. Member Willow. Look at them buds by her what name there. Clashing up. That's true, Sammy. Sammy's on it now. I want to know. I just want to know. I just want some more information. That's ultimately all any of us want. It's going to come back and everyone, once they actually come. So, sir, you had 10 cards with you. 10 playing cards in a glove. Everyone's going to be like, fuck, it was 10 cards. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Yep. A lot of hate on the News Nation. Yeah, I guess, and they've come through numerous times with this, right? Numerous times, over and over and over, with different things. But is this going to be the one that breaks the camel's back? The straw that breaks the camel's back, if you will? Because I have seen a lot of people, mad about this, right? Be mad about the gag order. Sleuthy saying, couldn't it have been ID cards inside a box of old school crap kept in glove to protect from moisture? Since it's right above obvious school stuff. My mom has her hair from my first haircut. Hard to tell what all his parents kept. Now that's, yeah, parents would do stuff like that, but again, it's so vague. You don't really know. And they took stuff that we didn't think was a part of this, right? Like a gun, like. And there's endless little debates about, the ID cards found during the search warrant were found tucked in a glove inside of a box in his residence. They were not found in a glove box, which I think I actually have misspoken on that one myself a few times. So. $2 super sticker from Sharona Woodham. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Hell yeah. El Guapo popping through. Appreciate it. Yeah. Yeah. Ricky Kubrick. Why would they take it if it's one of his old IDs, though? I don't know. In searches like that, they do take a lot of wild shit, though, and weird shit. But good point. 10 football cards. What is happening here in chat? 10 coffee punch cards with 9 punches each. The cops were like, this son of a bitch. 10 food stamp cards. What happened to Turdberger being a genius? I still hear people calling him a genius quite often. Mountain Mama, I don't hate on News Nation, but as Papa used to say, take everything with a grain of salt. That's ultimately where I'm at the end of the day. Take everything you see in this case with a grain of salt, and do your own research if you can, And I guess that would go back to the argument that some of your research would fall in line with a place that if their credentials are supposed to be legitimate news, we would hope that it's well sourced. But I don't know. Everything is for ratings when it really comes down to it, and especially the mainstream media. I wish that the mainstream media would actually do a little bit more like this, show both sides, ask the question live, they're just pushing, hey, we found this, we found it, you didn't, nobody else has this, hey, make sure you're watching this. But maybe if they went, are we sure this is real, Jennifer? You know, which they did have the one dude on there that called it. He literally said, if it's real, that's how he started out, which was smart and awesome. A smoking license. Got Nancy Grace out here. Just her website. See, everybody's going to run with the story. Yeah, News Nation reports. And there we go. Start straight out the gate. Few details are known publicly about the ID. But it does say it was discovered while law enforcement. They do talk about it like it's actually real. Again, because News Nation is reporting it like it's real. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I would hope that something has been linked for them to create this story, to run with this story, rather, and not create this story out of thin air, or from nothing, or from a tweet, or from, I would hope that there's something substantial, which again, anybody could just say, I've got a source. I'm going to start saying that on here. I've got a source. I do have many sources. If you want to email me anything, publiclybuzzed@gmail.com, folks. That is the best way to get me. A lot of folks on here do send me shit all the time, and I love it. Oh, guapo. ID smelled like a journalist. Nothing burger from the beginning. Yeah. I will see how much longer this one rolls, I reckon. Until the next one. But until then, we're probably going to get off here. Tomorrow night, I'm not sure exactly what the show is going to be about. We will see. 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, per the usual, on a usual Publicly Buzzed Live Tuesday. And that will be Tuesday, Thursdays, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And then Fridays, as per usual, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time every week. And then the Friday shows get a little bit wilder. I always say that, but they always do. They always get a little bit crazier now. We start drinking a little bit. We get through our stories. This Friday, though, Subconscious Mouth is going to be on the show, folks. So that's going to be cool. He was I did a live stream Saturday night randomly. He jumped in the chat, and he's got some stuff to say. He wants to come in. I feel like we'll have a good conversation. And I'm actually really, really interested to have him on here with Dan. To see how they kind of interact with each other. But yeah, that should be fun. I told him to make that stream up, and so he can start promoting it and get a thumbnail together as well. I need to get his logo and stuff also. If you're watching this right now, you're probably not, but I just need to email him back. But yeah, Friday night should be fun. We're gonna have a guest on here, Subconscious Mouth, so should be pretty cool. He makes some cool videos too. Go give him a follow if you don't follow him. AZ, if they took the whole box, having his IDs in the box helps show that the box and contents belong to him, not his dad or mom. AZ coming through. AZ has some logic, folks. Sharona, whatever happened to double and triple sourcing something before running with it? Sharona out here. Thank you for that, Sharona. Gordon, they have to prove the evidence of his belongings, so if it was next to something they wanted to take. Sylvia, 10 stolen cards, like with the whole credit cards theft and ID theft stuff that was going on in Moscow at the time. Who really knows? They were super vague, so I'm lost. You're not the only one on a lot of this stuff. Willow, what if he got an ID card from the bar or Mad Greek? Hell, what if that is how it started? What if he got their ID? Somebody asked earlier in the chat, that maybe what if any of the girls, or Ethan, I guess, but particularly one of the girls had their ID stolen, or they had lost it at maybe even the Corner Club or the Mad Greek. No one has said that Kohberger's ever been to the Corner Club, but he had been to the Mad Greek, they're saying. So that would be interesting if that just as a potential other theory out there right now, somebody had lost their ID at one point and that's how he found him. Wouldn't that be the most random shit ever? He's like, let's figure out this. And then he starts cyber stalking them or stuff. I don't know. It seems like that would be a pretty far-fetched thing. News Nation is going to report on that soon. News Nation, you heard it here first at Publicly Buzzed Live. Kara, I always catch up when it's middle night for me. Good work. Lovely vibes on here. I love having you on here, Kara. Hell yeah. Thank you for always popping in here. Yeah, the time's always a little weird for my buddy Christian. He was a guest on here Friday night with a live call-in. He's from Australia. You're from the UK, so the live call-ins or not the live call-ins, but the time periods for the lives can be a little bit off sometimes. We have people from Scotland, Ireland that follow us on here, man. Like, this is a pretty international show, and that's fucking dope. I know that he's called into Truth and Transparency before. That's the only one I've ever really known about. Yeah, I'm interested to see what he's got to say and see how we kind of converse. Oh shit, Austin coming in here late. What are you doing? Thank you for popping in here. You're gonna have to rewatch this one. Yeah, just a random one. I kind of bullshitting about this ID story, quite honestly. I wanted to give a second take on this. Everyone's still running with the News Nation thing. I wanted to show a third option with Daily Mail, which is usually bullshit. News Nation, which is looking more and more like potential bullshit. But then I wanted to show BTK killer daughter Carrie Rawson's take on this, which was basically saying, you know, let's kind of slow down here sometimes on some of this stuff. So if you rewatch that, Austin, I appreciate that. Also, just appreciate you being here. Anybody that's hanging out in the background, thank you all for hanging out as well. Hit the like as you head out the door. That'll help this thing after we head out. And yeah. Anybody that has found me through this stream, thank you very much. Hopefully you're subbed up and share it out. Helen, she got notified. Look at that. YouTube actually notifying somebody. Glad I got notified for once. Out here potting some plants while I listen. That's awesome. Hell yeah. My voice is just in the ether out there. I didn't hear him there, but I'm sure he's called it in there as well, says Heather. That's the only one I know about right off with Subconscious Mouth. I bet he has, because he even came in my chat asking when do we do the call-in shows. So he's probably trying to chat, man. I said let's do it as a collab. I'll have you on here, man. We'll see what's up. Let's have a convo. It's gonna be good. Should be fun. He does good stuff. I like his videos. I saw that show. Everyone here in Scotland thinks I'm Australian. I'm south of England originally. Interesting. Lynn69. Subconscious Mouth is a very deep thinker. He has been calling into a few channels, but always interesting to hear. Hi, everyone. Hey, Lynn. Thank you for popping in here. Glad that's a new name as well. Hope you're subbed up. Yeah, he used to come in my chats when I first started streaming. And he was always super cool. He was always super chill. And again, he did seem like a deep thinker, and you can get that from his videos as well. If you go and search Subconscious Mouth and check out all of his Idaho 4 content, I mean, he has some really cool content. He puts some time into it. I dig it, man. Jamie, hope you're having a good day, brother. Sylvia, well, I'm running with the no effing idea as well as the damn it feels good to be a gangster thing. Yeah, anybody that's subbed up, go to the community and check me and my brother out when we were little kids. I wanted to post that up there. That came through my feed today as like a memory. I was like, oh shit, that's perfect. That's perfect. Yeah, we definitely got a good group in here. Don't need no damn mods. Who needs a mod? Who needs a mod, man? We all cool. Happy Easter, everybody. Hell yeah, Sylvia, loved it. Representing. Boom. Out here, killing it, guys. Let me drop one more of these in here before I run out. I gotta go fix some dinner right now. I'm not sure what we're gonna have, but we're gonna have something delicious, I'm sure, hopefully. I just heard my fiance get home, my wife get home. So she's probably like, hurry the hell up. I'm gonna have to let my dog out. Which when I got home, I let her out, but she's probably like, let's do this thing. Oh no, Heather, not at all. He's. I was just over probably explaining how well I like the dude. Figment of Kimmikins. What's going on? New name. Thank you for popping in here. Appreciate it. Hope you're having a good Monday. I hate that you popped in right as I'm getting ready to sign off, but hello. Yeah, Canada, England, Australia, Scotland, Ireland. Fuck everybody. If I go through my actual stats on YouTube, dude, it's every country. It's tons more countries than that. Oh yeah, about to cook too. Yeah, I don't know what the hell we even got up there. I'm about to go check it out. We need to go shopping, but I think we got something to get through tonight. But yeah, one more time, right before I'm actually going to be leaving this time, guys. Tuesday night, real quick. Hold on, Lynn's. Hey, I'm from Dorset in the south of the UK. More UK. A long-time lurker. I'm subbed and in Discord. That's fucking dope. Thank you very much. Let me also promote the Discord real quick. Boom, boom, Join the Discord. I'm going to grift right before I leave, guys. Join the Discord. Sub up. Like this thing as you head out. Tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, Publicly Buzzed Live. Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern on all of these, Publicly Buzzed Live. And then Friday, 10:30 p.m. Eastern, Publicly Buzzed Live. And we're going to be killing it, folks. Thank you all for being here. And yeah, I will see you tomorrow night. Thanks.
See, we shoot them up bang bang over here. We not scared of they motherfucking ass. See, we shoot them up bang bang over here. We not scared of they motherfucking ass.